everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome! Today I'm looking at the Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game Inquisitor's TIE Expansion Pack. Now this awesome ship made its first on-screen appearance in Star Wars Rebels, and believe it or not, this is actually a prototype to Darth Vader's TIE Advanced. Now this vessel's real name is the TIE Advanced V1 prototype. Now, this ship is fast, it had laser cannons, shields, life support, and even a hyperspace engine, which is awesome. Now, in Star Wars Rebels, I loved this ship, I thought it was cool, and I loved the way that the winds could close. Now, sadly, this particular model, the winds don't move at all. Hopefully, Star Wars X-Wing 2nd Edition has its own Inquisitor's TIE with movable winds, that would be great. So moving on to the length of this vessel, it comes in on the smaller side, about 3/4 of an inch long, but don't let that deter you. The ship's pretty cool, and it is to scale with other vessels. So you guys know the drill by now. We're going to look at the dials, tokens, cards, put on a stand, look at the mold, the paint, compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving! And now it's time for my favorite part of these videos, the dial token roll call. 1 maneuver dial. And to go with the maneuver dial, these are all the maneuvers the Inquisitor's TIE can do. 2 ship tokens, which are double-sided. 1 focus token. 1 evade token. 1 stress token. 1 critical hit token. 2 shield tokens. 2 target lock tokens. And finally, 6 ID tokens with numbers 48 and 49. So that does it for all the dials and tokens. Now let's take a look at those cards. Alright, starting off looking at the upgrade cards, like always, I will go over the name of the card. If you'd like to pause and read the paragraph below, by all means, go right ahead and continue when you're done. Up first, Deadeye, Homan Missiles, XX-23S Thread Tracers, Guidance Chips, and finally the TIE V1. That does it for all the upgrade cards. Now let's take a look at the ship cards. Now for the ship cards, first we have the Inquisitor, Valen Rudor, Baron of the Empire, and finally, Sinar Test Pilot. So that does it for the ship cards, but now we also have some reference cards. First up, we have the Boost Action, and finally, Modifications and Titles. And these are pretty good because they can help you with some of the rules. So that does it for the ship and reference cards. So now let's put this beautiful ship on a stand. Now, just like all X-Wing miniature game ships, you get 2 pegs you combine to make one larger one. Plug it in the base like so, get your ship, be gentle, and just like that, you're good to go. And now it's finally time to take a look at the Inquisitor TIE's mold. Like always, I will go over the major sections of the ship, and then we'll get a nice close-up look to see all those fine details. So, up first, we have our cockpit section with our transparent steel viewport, laser cannons on the bottom. Turning the ship up, we have our cockpit hatch. Very cool. In the back, we have our hyperdrive and ion engines. Looking pretty cool. I think that came out great. Bottom of the craft, we have our peg port for our stand. Nice detail lines and panels. We have our wings, looking sharp. Our pylons, also looking pretty good. And then we have our solar arrays on the interiors of the wings. Looking awesome. So that just about does it for all the main sections of the ship. So now let's get a close-up look at this bad boy and see what it has to offer. Alright, getting it as close as I can to the Inquisitor's TIE, we'll begin looking at the exterior of the wing. Right here in the center, we have some beautiful line work and molding. I think that came out great, love the brace. Moving up, we have some panel lines, as well as some molding here and there. Looking good, same as the bottom. Black wash really helps it out. Then on the sides of the wings, mainly in the front, we do have raised sections. Looking pretty cool. And then here we have the top. Nice. On the other wing, it's exactly the same. Basically, it's mirrored. Again, some nice detailing on here. Beautiful. For the interiors of the wings, just like all the other TIEs, we have literally hundreds of little dots for the solar arrays. Looking fantastic. Let me turn this over so we can look at the bottom. And beautiful work. Then we have the interiors of the wings. Love the design here, very cool. We have the fronts. Looking awesome, the black wash, really filling in all the nooks and crannies. Here we can see the whole bottom of the wing. Looking awesome. And now let's move on to the pylons. Looking very nice. I love the little recess here. Beautiful stuff. Very reminiscent of Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Now looking at the top, you see some beautiful molding on here. On both sides. They're mirrored, so there's nothing really different here. Then we have the whole aft section with our ion engine and hyperspace, life support and all that jazz. Looking very nice, very detailed. The bottom of the ship. Again, looking fantastic. Love the panel lines and recesses. And little raised molded sections as well. Beautiful stuff. Bottoms of the pylons looking good. And back to the front. Now for the front section, or the cockpit section if you will, we have our raised laser cannons. Looking pretty awesome. We have our viewport with recessed windows. Looking amazing. Beautiful detailing all the way around the cockpit section. Here we have the hatch. Looking pretty good. Look at all that detail in there. Fantastic stuff. And for the bottom of the ship, we have our peg port for our stand, as well as some beautiful molding on the bottom of the ship. Amazing stuff. And that does it for the mold. You know, this may be a very small ship, but as we've seen, it is jam-packed full of tiny details, which really make the ship stand out in the line. So now, let's take a look at the paint. And now, looking at the paint of the Inquisitor's TIE Fighter, we have about 5 different colors here. First one up is a beautiful gray, covering the whole entire ship. I think it's a great choice, very accurate to what we saw in the show. Pretty good. Next, we have black for the solar arrays on the wings. Very clean. Great choice yet again. Then we have glossy black for the viewport, as well as the cockpit hatch. Then moving back down, we have red for the laser cannons, looking sharp. And finally, a black wash, filling in all these nooks and crannies and lines, and really bringing this ship to life. Look at that wing. Very nice. Panels all outlined with the black wash. Looking good. So that's everything I have to say about the mold and the paint. So now let's put this bad boy back on a stand, compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. And now for a quick size comparison with the Inquisitor's TIE seen in the far left. Moving right, we have its successor, the TIE Advanced, a TIE Interceptor, and finally the Phantom II, which is a beautifully painted ship, and who knows, maybe it's a precursor of things to come. All in all, some awesome looking vessels here. And that does it today for my review of the Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game Inquisitor's TIE Expansion Pack. Again, this ship was first seen in Star Wars Rebels, and for its length, it is 3/4 of an inch long. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm a massive fan of Rebels. I think it is an awesome show. Now, yes, I do like the Clone Wars more, but you know what? Rebels had heart, and I love where the series went. And hopefully one day, I hope we do get a continuation of Ezra's story, and the Ghost Crew in general. Having said all that, when I found out X-Wing was making an Inquisitor's TIE, I had to get it. Now, to be honest, am I a little upset that the winds don't close? Absolutely. But you know what? For what this ship is, it is a fantastic miniature. As we've seen, detail-wise, it is magnificent. Tons of little panel lines, recesses, modules, and the solar array wings with all those little raised dots. Amazing. Now to go on top of that, literally, we have the paint. The gray, the glossy black, the black, and the beautiful black wash, all working together to really give this model life. Now game-wise, the expansion comes with everything you need to add the Inquisitor's TIE to your core game set, including dials, tokens, and different types of cards. So if you're looking to buy this ship, I would definitely recommend Amazon or eBay. Retail price was around $14.99, so if you could get it cheaper, by all means go ahead. Now before I end this video, I just want to say to everybody who celebrates, have a happy Thanksgiving, watch some football, eat a lot of turkey, and have a lot of fun. So that does it today for this awesome looking ship. I hope you enjoyed my review, and if you did, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, have a great day, have a happy holiday, and I'll see you next time. Bye everybody. Gobble gobble.